Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel, Powerful Perspectives. I have a question for you today that I'd like us to consider. How do you brush your teeth? And when I ask that question, I'm not asking like, how does a general person do it, but you personally. Like, specifically, what is your individual method or like process? Walk me through that. What would that look like? Okay. What if I told you that I do it differently? Would that matter? What if I told you that I had a different technique, I started in a different place, went in a different order, different pattern, spent a different amount of time on different areas, whatever. What if I told you that I did it differently than you do? Would that matter? Probably not so much, right? Isn't the important thing just that they get cleaned? And the way that you do that, or the exact order or process, maybe isn't as important as just getting the job done, just having the result. I use this as an example because I think the principle applies to a wider variety of areas of life. So often in life, we spend so much time criticizing not only what people are doing, not only where people are going in their lives, what they're accomplishing, and yeah, where they arrive, what goals they arrive at, what milestones they achieve or don't. We don't just criticize their destinations or their desired destinations, but we criticize how they get there. And I would suggest that a lot less important than getting there is how they get there. It's important in terms of how insightful it can be. You can learn a lot from people when you look at how they do things, how they achieve things, especially how they grow, how they become, how they reach goals, right? Like, this can be informative and instructive and even inspiring. But the details, the details are where the learning happens, but they're not as important as the outcome in terms of result, in terms of the impact that it has in their lives, right? And I'm talking here from the point of criticism, from the point of judgment. I think we could do a lot better. We could benefit a lot more from thinking less about the details in terms of being nitpicky, in terms of being critical of others. I don't know that it's so important, for example, to look at whether or not someone goes to post-secondary education. And if they do, what order they do that in, how long they spend in school, what they study, whether it's in a certain field or another one, if people choose to go to work, or they choose to work before school or after school, or they choose not to go to school, or they choose not to go to work. If people choose to travel, when and if people choose to have a family, right? Like, how young or old people get married, and who they decide to marry, whether or not you like them or approve of them, or like all of these details of not only what people do, but how they do them. I think our obsession with criticizing and judging these things, it's not really healthy or helpful. Isn't the ultimate destination more important than the details along the way, right? as long as they get to a place where they are happy and living in peace and living in harmony with those around them, and they find love and joy and excitement and fulfillment, peace of mind, safety, security, respect, aren't these really the important things? Food for thought. Tell me what you think.